Okay, so today we were working from the mounted position. We looked at the Kata Gatame, the mounted Kata Gatame, or arm triangle as it's otherwise known as. Before we can get any attack though, we first have to start taking our partner's arms away from the body where they're in a strong defensive position. We want to make them vulnerable by taking the arms away. So if my partner's in tight like this, how do we start bringing the arms into a position where we can attack? First thing, I want to set my cross face. So I bring my arm under, take my fingers and grab under the armpit, pull in tight and shrug my shoulder. Now I can start changing my body position so that I can start using my chest to start putting a little bit of pressure on the arm, just enough to expose the elbow so I can get my arm underneath. So I change that body position and start driving with my chest. All I'm looking for is the elbow to stick out so I can get my forearm underneath. Now we use what's called the ratchet. So we walk our arm up as much as we can till we hit that sticky point of resistance. Then we extend. Then we can start walking up again and extend. Walking up and extend. Until his elbow comes right above his head, where we can start wrapping the arm up like so. This position right here is known as the single chest wrap. Now, in order to attack the Kata Gatame, we have to make sure that we have space to thread our arm through so we can get tight on the carotid artery without his hand in play. So right now his arm is in still a somewhat defensive position. So we're going to switch the arms, change our body position again and shrug the arm over. That clears the arm. Now I bring my arm back so that I can make contact with my bicep on his neck. Now we have to make some small adjustments to make everything super tight. So the first one is we want to make sure the crook of our bicep is very tight on our partner's carotid artery. So I'm going to lift my partner's head and start walking the arm in place. I want to make sure his arm is not above his temple, like so. So we keep it in place with our chin, replace it with our hand, push it down. And we keep it in place by going head to head. We also want to make sure that our shoulder isn't coming in across his face. So we move our body position down. If we need to adjust further, we keep adjusting till everything's in place. Then we lock our hands together in a gable grip with the strangle arm pointing down. Now it's time to dismount and start putting the strangle pressure on. So with everything tight, I windscreen wipe my leg and I keep a hip blocker in place. I start making myself perpendicular. I sink my shoulder and my hip and squeeze my elbow back for the finish. And my elbow is squeezing in this direction, like so. Because what I want to be doing is putting pressure in the same direction that my partner's elbow is going. So that's why we're dismounting and squeezing in this direction. Mounted Kata Gatame.